LadyChann. Fight.
Steve Kim from Snack.com and the 3 Knockdown Rule, and you're locked into Come Box with Chan with LadyChann.
It's messy weight division in the building. It is definitely 160. It's tragic. It's tragic. Steve, it's tragic up there. It's tragic up there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what to think about it. People still forget Golovkin has 2 of the belts. He's got mandatories due.
Yeah.
The sense that I'm getting about him, and I wrote about this young man just a day or two ago, I believe that Golovkin-Munguia is going to happen next year. And I don't even know what to think about that fight. I thought Golovkin looked like a fighter on the verge of retirement against Canelo. I thought it was a shame. As someone that went to all 3 fights, to see that rivalry end like that with the whimper and not a bang, it almost looked like they were both in on it together to let's not hurt each other. Let's not expend too much money.
Right.
Let's not lose our money. Let's not lose our health. And it was good. And I'm like, that to me,
It was trash.
it was the most highly paid sparring session in the history of boxing. That's what it was. And I just came away thinking, Canelo, you need a break, and Golovkin, you seem to like be one step towards retirement. I was disappointed by the whole effort of both men. But at 160, look, maybe Munguia, his activity and how active he is with his punches will make Golovkin fight. I don't know what else to really think. The division is kind of strange in a sense. There's really been no movement. LadyChann, this is interesting. You know, it's been about 17, 18 months since we last saw Jermall Charlo.
I just wrote his name down just now. just now, I just wrote his name down just to say what's going on over here.
Right, and I don't understand the BC, the WPBC.
Yeah.
He has not fought in a year and a half. So in theory, he should be at least looked upon as, why are you not defending your title? And this is, again, where the politics even hurt a fighter that it's in the same organization or promoter. Carlos Adames, hard-hitting guy that I like.
God.
He won the interim title because what's-his-face, Charlo, couldn't fight. Well, wait a minute. Why? So I don't understand. Why didn't they make Adames the mandatory for Charlo? That's why you make a guy an interim titleist.
Exactly.
I don't get it. And let's take a look at Munguia, a guy I was really high on at one point. I still like him, but I have to tell the truth. He has turned down numerous title shots. First it was, well, Boo Boo Andrade's too difficult and we're too young. Okay, I get it. Then it's, well, Jermall Charlo's on Showtime and we're on the Zone. Okay. Now, I would bet my own money, which I don't have a lot of, he's not going to take on Janibek for the WBO. So that's a hat trick. Have you ever seen that, LadyChann? A guy turning down 3 title shots of some variety in a 14, 16 months. That's
period. Yeah.
Right. That is actually historic.
What is De La Hoya doing with this fighter?
Babysitting.
Definitely.
I mean, look.
I would have him beating Janibek as well if he actually fought him.
Well, Janibek still needs development, and I talked to Buddy McGirt about this a couple of weeks ago. Look, Janibek has some talent, but as we saw against your countryman Bentley, he's still not there. He's still very, very underdeveloped, and you could see that he's a very one-dimensional fighter that needs to add to his arsenal.
Yeah, very much so.
I don't know if a fighter like him, with only 12 to 13 fights, can get better if he's only going to be a twice-a-year fighter from here on in.
Right.
That's the quandary that he faces. But, you know, my understanding...
You should get him now, though.
Yeah, well, look,
what
you see now is maybe what you get. As they say, the die is cast. But, you know, my understanding is that Top Rank is willing to have him go to other networks, travel, to take some risks, because he's not a draw. He's a talented fighter, but he's not a draw. So they won't really protect him. You know, as it relates to Golden Boy and Munguia, you know, the issue is that he's a popular fighter. He's fairly exciting, and he actually does sell tickets out here on the West Coast. That's the type of fighter that you see be given a different type of treatment. But when it comes to promoters, They usually do two things. They either promote a fighter because they think, hey, this guy's the goods, we can beat anybody, we'll try to make fights, or they become protectors because they have to protect that business. And it's obvious to me, as of this moment, it is the latter when it comes to Jaime Munguia and Golden Boy Promotions.
So he's a mess at the minute, and we've got Jamal Charlo. I don't know if he's going through. I had, like, as I say, my coach, Uncle Coach Ronnie Shields on, and he just gave like a rundown. This was maybe about when was the last time Ronnie was on? Maybe about 3 months ago, and he was just like, look, or when his wife came out saying, we haven't got any money, all of this, and Uncle Ronnie was just like, yeah, it looks like there may be a divorce happening, and I was like, yeah, but Uncle Ronnie, we can't have the whole division like held up. Like, at the end of the day, if Jamal ain't gonna be able to fight for a while, he's gonna have to like either vacate or the WBC be stripped. Uncle Ronnie was like, no way, he's fought all his Mandos. Well, you didn't fight Selecki.
Okay, look, he's fought. When did he? Okay, Mandos. I like Ronnie a lot. Ronnie, he hasn't fought since June of 2021. He hasn't fought anybody. In theory, if you go by their rules, which they do not, but if you read the letter of the law in the regulations, most sanctioning bodies state you have to actually fulfill your mandatory once a year. He simply has not done that then. I don't see where Ronnie's going with that. I really don't.
I said it, and he was like, no, he's done all his Mandos. And I think he's, this is the part where the protection comes in. So I was like, okay, I just let it be. Just okay, whatever. Who else is in that division that's being annoying in that division? Well, they're not just fighting each other. So we can move up 168, where obviously we've got Canelo. Is Canelo holding up the division now?
Yeah, he is, but I mean, at least he cleared it out, though. In all fairness,
yeah, he cleared it out,
and I get. Yeah, he did clear it out. I mean, look, in an 11-month stretch from December of 2020 to November of 21, he had 4 fights where he picked up all the belts, consolidated it. He beat Smith, he beat Billy Joe Saunders, and then he beat Caleb Plant, and then he had Avni Yildirim in between. My view is that he's really settled in as a 68-pounder. I just think it's a bad idea. I don't care what weight he faces.
Don't go
Dimitri
up there.
Bivol.
Yeah, he beats you anytime, any place, anywhere. He does.
Yeah, I just think that in and out style. And the one thing with Bivol, he is boxing and fighting now with more confidence. I was really impressed by the way he tamed Gilberto Ramirez. He stood right in the center of the ring, put his foot on the ground, drew a line in the sand, and he told Zerda, who looked like he's 200 pounds, try to cross this line, see what happens. I thought he buzzed him in the first. And from that point forward, Gilberto, it didn't matter how much bigger he was. He did not want to rush in there because he understood, I'm going to get clipped with a straight right hand right down the middle. I guess Canelo said, I'm going to come back with the tune-up in May, and I want to do the rematch in September. I'll be honest, as a boxing purist, LadyChann, wouldn't you rather see Better BF Bivol second half of the year?
Of course. And that, yeah, shouts out to Canelo with what he's done. I give him a round of applause. Everything. At least he's fought who he needed to fight to establish where he is at this moment. But I mean, if Canelo thinks he's going to hold up this division of 168, going up to 175 again, we're gonna have to see Canelo possibly fight a Benavidez now. We're gonna have to see him fight. I don't know if Charlo gets into line, but where would you say that Canelo does go instead of this Bivol route? Would you say he goes with the winner of Ryder and
Zach Parker?
Ryder Parker.
That's an interesting one because I everything that Eddie Hearn says indicates that they want Bivol, that they want revenge, and they want to bring Bivol down to 68. Now, I remember about a day or two after the Bivol fight with Gilberto Ramirez, I talked to Vadim Kornilov. He's one of the managers, co-manager of Bivol, and I said to him, is there a rematch clause? Because we've never really gotten clarification on that. And he said, Steve, there is a rematch clause, but it has to be negotiated. In other words, the financial terms are not set, so they're not locked into a rematch.
Yeah.
I think that there's an option that they have to do the rematch if they can come to an agreement. You have to understand the reason why Bivol got this fight back in May, and Vadim has told me this numerous times, Steve, we settled for a deal where they could not turn us down. We were not going to over-negotiate this to a point where they moved on. So in other words, they took probably a discount. They probably got, I don't want to say half of what they thought they should get, but they took a cut. I don't think they're taking a cut.
About 5 million.
I would, and while everyone else was getting 8 to 10, I think they just said, you know what, we're going to get in line here. And I find it refreshing that they actually had enough faith to say, you know what, where we're going to get paid off? By winning. That's a novel concept. All these guys look at getting the fight as winning the lottery. They don't actually try to win the fight. They really don't. Bivol played to win the game. He got a big payoff in Saudi Arabia or wherever they were a couple of weeks ago against Gilberto Ramirez.
How much did he get? Do you know how much he got?
No, but I'm just telling you. I heard some amounts where the guarantee was $2 million. I'm telling you, it was much more than that. I never believed those commission reports. Now, the second time around, I do not believe they are taking a discount against Canelo, especially if they have to come down to 168.
He's come out on record saying no longer doing 168. He can't do it.
Oh, okay. Okay, good for him then. Let's stay at your weight class.
Yeah, he said he can't do that at all.